Hi, this is Paul Renaud and welcome to Leaders in Marketing. As we host the heavyweights of marketing in Bucharest on October 18, 2012, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing Paul Garrison. Paul Garrison is larger than life. He was an executive at Procter & Gamble. He was an executive at Coca-Cola here in Southeastern Europe. And he also leads a very impressive consultancy firm called Garrison Group based out of Budapest, Hungary, and they specialize in segmentation. Paul's also a mentor at heart. He loves to teach. He's taught at some very impressive schools, including CEU in Budapest, Maastricht School of Management here in Bucharest, Romania. He also taught at Skolkovo in Russia, and also is a professor at an Ivy League school in the US called Dartmouth. So I asked Paul, I said, Paul, tell us about segmentation. How can segmentation generate top-line revenues when it comes to marketing? In the short video, he'll talk about emotional benefits and functional benefits. So, we look forward to seeing Paul Garrison, October 18th, 2012 at Leaders in Marketing. We look forward to seeing you as well. Enjoy the video.
A reporter once asked the question to the famous bank robber Willie Sutton why he robbed banks. And his answer was, that's where the money is. And I think business people need to stop thinking of segmentation as something, some kind of a marketing exercise, and think of it really in terms of that's where they're going to find more money, meaning more customers. Either they want the new customers to buy the product, or they want existing customers to buy more of their product. Either way, it's about who. And who that is, now you can say, well, how different? If I say I want housewives, or I want young college students, or I want teenagers, what's the difference? Well, if all your brand is about functional benefits, it's a beer that tastes good, it's a fast processing speed computer with a sleek design. Those are functional benefits, and you can say, well, those appeal to a broad group. But the real power of a brand is how it appeals to people emotionally. Like a beer, is it modern progressive? What's modern progressive to this young adult versus what's modern and progressive to this young adult? What is creative and individual, a sense of individuality for a person who wants a computer to express their individuality or their creativity? So those appeal to different types of teenagers, young adults, housewives, working people, whatever it happens to be. So you need to think about who they are, for you can then link up both the functional benefits of your product and the emotional benefits and put them together. That's the only way, by linking those things together and understanding who they are you going to get them to buy your product more often or buy it for the first time. And if you do it really well, you can actually get important segments, your best customers, to recommend it to other people. And you can actually create advocacy. But all that requires a lot more understanding of who you're talking to. If you're trying to talk to everybody, you're going to be, a little bit of something to everybody instead of being a lot to a few. It's to pick the right segments, especially the right lead segments, and then other segments will follow their actions, which is what the tipping point was all about, is how do you tip and get that mass appeal going by getting the right segments.
And do you have examples of where you've applied segmentation and that you actually saw a revenue generation as a result? It was a positive aspect in creating more revenues?
Well, certainly. I mean, at Coke, we had people like alternatives. These are young people who are anti-globalization. They're not people who are going to be big Coca-Cola drinkers, because Coca-Cola is a very mass brand, and these people want to be very individualistic. All the health benefits, etc., they might be looking for. Well, Nestea, green tea Nestea was very appealing to them. So it was targeted to them, how we packaged it, how we promoted it, worked to them. In Russia, we saw that the young females are out a lot. They look at beer not so much as a beer like my dad's beer, but rather a modern, dynamic, almost like an alcopop would be. And so we were able with EFES to target a beer focusing on young adult women who go out 2-3 times a week. And the imagery of the beer, the bottle shape of the beer, we didn't have the typical brown bottle. All the promotional aspects of it was women that were out and about and enjoying themselves. And so it was targeting towards them. And that was a whole new revenue for the brands. in both cases, Coke or FS, and on and on and on. You can, if you know what you want to achieve, who is most likely to buy it? How do you package it to them?